So it's about explaining the taxonomy, or in this case, the IP function deployment. And this taxonomy, or this is giving a systematic overview of the different system compounds in combination with the customer benefits, and it's a visualization tool that allows in the differentiation center to make good decisions on figures and numbers. And so it's by developing the IP function deployment, it starts with the system compounds in different layers, such as in this case, for example, you go through the process starting with a smart tools, for example, the different software compounds, and then combining it with the customer benefits. What is also included is the prioritization of customer benefits, like, for example, quality, the better quality of life, but also the easy to use, the implementation for the dentist and such things. And it's what is also combined in this taxonomy is the combination with the system compounds to not only the own IP rights, but also the competitors' IP rights, and it's also ranked on which compound, which IP right is connected. And this gives you an effective, or allows an effective monitoring of both the own portfolio and the competitive portfolio. And this actually is then the basis for effective decisions in designing the own portfolio to have the best protection or the best position in the market. Slide 2.
Okay. Yeah. So in relation to the monitoring on the competitive environment and its benefits, it is a systematic and continuous monitoring through market observation and product analysis, and by means of patent analysis, in which an organization operates, focusing on how it distinguishes itself from other competitors through unique activities or strategies, and also mapping products with patents and taking into account and sharing the opinion of engineers with the relevant parties of an ongoing basis in order to avoid inefficiencies. From an agency theory analysis, this competition monitoring reveals whether the specific custom benefits in the market are actually offered exclusively. And also this reduces the information asymmetries, allowing an assessment of the effectiveness of an IP portfolio that is free of hidden information. And then from the property rights theory analysis, this monitoring of third parties' products leads to detection of IP infringement indications with an increased probability. And as a result, one's own rights, I mean the rights that are divided into the property rights are monitored and enforced. These rights are the right to use the good and also the right to earn income from the good. The next one, please.
So the portfolio management in the Differentiation Center is based on the development of a common understanding of IP-related benefits and effects among the different business functions like marketing, R&D, product management, IP. So portfolio management is based on the analysis on criteria describing the objective of the IP strategy, and the documentation by meaning of measurable and easy to understand performance indicator. In the economic perspective, more particularly in the NZC theory, the integration of various stakeholders in the company leads to a reduction of information asymmetries, and using objective KPI prevents opportunistic behavior in portfolio management. We can jump to the next slide, please.
Thank you. I will explain the principle of the synthetic inventing and why it is useful in a differentiation center. Synthetic inventing refers to the creation of intellectual property independently from research and development efforts in order to shape a company's market position. The synthetic inventing process needed to integrate both market intelligence and technological intelligence. Since patents are designed in workshop, we need to deploy the necessary human resources for this purpose. Then let me explain the application of synthetic inventing from the perspective of institutional economics, particularly property rights theory and transactions costs. According to property rights theory, through synthetic inventing, property rights to the technical elements of an innovative business model that are relevant from a customer's point of view can be generated even before the actual R&D activities begin. This assured that business model cannot be directly copied in the future, and thus that the economic benefits of the business model idea are internalized within the company. Synthetic inventing initially causes internal cost, but then prevents external transaction costs from being incurred because the use of necessary technical feature become inclusive for the company. Next, please.
Okay, so taking a look at the links to the roadmap, right? And I think we touched upon this a couple of times today, right? It is not necessary to already have an invention, but it is necessary to have IP very early in the process clearly defined what the roadmap looks like and make that linkage, right? And to also equip your development teams with that relevant know-how. The relevant connection is actually to envision a bit for the future. How is it going to look like, and which claims am I wanting to make for the roadmap going forward, right? So it's not necessary that there has already been something invented, but it's clearly defined what I want to do in the future, okay? The linkage to the property rights theory, I think pretty clear. Now, IP is a property right, so effectively establishing that early in the process will reduce or minimize the future transaction costs that the company might be facing, right? And therefore ensure a relevant manufacturing and development process. But at the same time, it would also reduce potential negative spillover effects and therefore external effects to the company.
Yeah, so for synthetic inventing, which is not necessarily patenting inventions that are created for a specific business need or technology need or market needs, it is particularly important to bear in mind that the question is basically, how do we remunerate employees on these inventions, which are kind of not linked specifically to product activities, but they are created in order to protect the company's market position. Because naturally for these products, they are not market needs based. That means that profits will be well, one could say zero. So royalties to employees will also be zero. At the same time, we're asking employees to invest their time into inventing these synthetic inventions. So the agency theory poses the problem that precisely this, inventors contribute by investing their time, but they will not be remunerated. So how do we avoid the opportunistic behavior? So in other words, non-participation of the employees in order to achieve our strategic goals. And the relation to the transaction costs is that although the employee invention remuneration initially causes costs, the external transaction costs that can be avoided by this in the long term are beneficial. And in that sense, employees should be remunerated to some extent. And this is the last slide.